Ecuador grants WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange political asylum. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been granted political asylum by Ecuador, the country's foreign minister Ricardo Patino confirmed. Also this evening, locked-in syndrome sufferer denied right to die. Most wanted tax dodgers list published by HMRC. And Rihanna tells Oprah she was more concerned about Chris after brutal attack. Good evening. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been granted political asylum by Ecuador, the country's foreign minister Ricardo Patino confirmed. The announcement is likely to increase tensions between the UK and the South American country, who had been warned that the situation could have serious implications for diplomatic relations. Mr. Assange welcomed the decision, calling it a significant victory, but warned Ecuadorian embassy staff that things will get more stressful now. Mr. Assange entered the embassy in central London 2 months ago in a bid to avoid deportation to Sweden, where he faces sexual assault charges. The Foreign Office said they were disappointed by the decision. Ecuadorian ministers accused the UK of threatening to attack the embassy to arrest Mr. Assange after it emerged that a 1987 law could allow the revocation of building diplomatic status if the foreign power occupying it ceases to use land for the purpose of its mission or exclusively of the purposes of a consular post. Under international law, diplomatic posts are considered the territory of the foreign nation. The Foreign Office said that the decision to grant Mr. Assange political asylum would not affect the UK's legal obligation to extradite him to Sweden. Mr. Patino said the Ecuadorian government had lengthy diplomatic talks with the UK, US and Sweden over Mr. Assange. The foreign minister said none of the three countries could give a guarantee that the WikiLeaks founder would not eventually be extradited to the US. Mr. Patino called for Mr. Assange to be guaranteed safe passage to leave the embassy, but the Foreign Office insisted this would not be offered. Mr. Assange and embassy staff packed into a room on the ground floor and listened to the statement. Locked-in syndrome sufferer Tony Nicholson has lost his High Court battle to have a doctor end his life without fear of prosecution. Victory in the landmark Right to Die case would have altered the UK's murder laws. A second locked-in syndrome sufferer, referred to only as Martin, 47, also lost his challenge to the legal ban on assisted dying. Mr. Nicholson, who was left paralysed by a catastrophic stroke 7 years ago, appealed for a change in the law as he is unable to take his own life. He wanted a doctor who gives him a fatal dose to have a common law defence of necessity against any possible murder charge. But 3 judges at London's High Court unanimously agreed that it would be wrong for the court to depart from the long-established legal position that voluntary euthanasia is murder, however understandable the motives may be. The judges ruled that the current law did not breach human rights and it was for Parliament, not the courts, to decide whether it should be changed. Shortly afterwards, Paul Bowen QC, representing Mr. Nicholson, confirmed, as expected, that he will appeal the High Court ruling. Less than an hour before the judge's verdict was announced, Mr. Nicholson's family launched a petition to support his right to die. There has been a 0.3% rise in sales between June and July. It is a lift but not much. It is propelled by big price cuts. The underlying picture remains gloomy. Low confidence and high rainfall are a terrible cocktail for Britain's struggling retailers. Once again, wet weather has meant that the sales of seasonal clothes and products have not gone to plan. The only heavy discounting is shifting stick. Even the start of the school holidays, often a time when clothing is bought for children, did not lift shops out of the doldrums. What became of the Olympic dividend that stores were so often promised? Sales in July were up 2.8% compared to the same month last year. It's welcome but still very weak. There is a glimmer of hope that sales began to lift a little towards the end of July, revealing some Olympic effect. Merchandising and food sales may lift the sales figures for August. That feel-good factor that the Games delivered may have positive impact, boosting overall confidence in months to come. But our struggling shops cannot live on hope, for many these tough months threaten to be their last. A list of 20 most wanted alleged tax dodgers who were accused of fleeing the UK while owing the government millions of pounds has been released today. Names and pictures of the accused have been published for the first time by Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs (HMRC) in a bid to find them. The list includes Hussein Cohen, 44, who was convicted for his role in a £200 million fraud, part of which involved importing 2.25 tonnes of tobacco worth £750,000 in duty. He is currently believed to be in Dubai and was given 11 years for smuggling and fraud offences and failing to appear in court. He is also subject to £33 million conviction order. Wayne Joseph Hardy, 49, was convicted for manufacturing tobacco products and not paying duty, and was given a 3-year sentence in October 2011. He is believed to be in South Africa. The estimated cost to the taxpayer was £1.9 million. Nazir Ahmed, 40, believed to be in Pakistan or Dubai, was sentenced to 6 years in 2005 for his part in VAT fraud worth £156 million. He fled, verdicts were given, and was convicted and sentenced in his absence. These 3 men are among 20 people whose pictures and details are on HMRC's Flickr page. And finally, global superstar singer Rihanna opened her heart to talk show queen Oprah Winfrey about her relationship with her ex-boyfriend Chris Brown in a surprising tell-all interview. The 24-year-old singer, who was brutally assaulted by Brown 3 years ago, told the talk show host she was more concerned about him after the attack. Pictures at the time of a bruised, bite-marked and bloodied Rihanna caused outrage when they were circulated on the internet. Brown's music was blacklisted by a number of radio stations, and he was sentenced to 5 years probation, 1,400 hours of community service, and was forced to undergo a 53-week domestic violence counselling course. Rihanna told Oprah she felt confused after the attack. She felt angry, humiliated and dark, but was more concerned for the welfare of Chris. Rihanna had reportedly rekindled her romance with Chris recently. The two have been spotted out together after a collaboration on a song. Oprah said she had expected Rihanna to be an edgy badass, but she was pleasantly surprised by the singer. The pair enjoyed a tour of Rihanna's home in Barbados and visited the area the singer grew up in. The full interview airs on the Oprah Winfrey Network this Sunday, August the 19th. Time for a quick look at what has been on the front pages today. Firstly, the Daily Telegraph says more places for bright students. That's as A-levels coming today for students taking A-levels at colleges. Daily Mail says a £35,000 cap on care bills. It also pictures Prince Philip in hospital for the third time in 8 months. The Independent says, affordable old age, U-turn on money for elderly care. It also pictures Boris Johnson at the bottom there. The Guardian says, experts attack Osborne over austerity plan. Daily Express says, just how ill is Prince Philip? He's rushed to hospital for the third time in 8 months. The I newspaper, again similar story. Dramatic U-turn sees coalition agree Kerr-Cap. The Sun, bit of entertainment news, and Cheryl's gone from Ash to Trey. And finally the Times, Boris on the runway. There are today's headlines, and that was the news tonight. So from me and all the team here, good night and thank you for watching.